Hey everybody, well, all right, here we go. Finally got the had to get rid of I gotta get a new camera. I got a webcam that's not working, so I gotta have to use the computer camera here, the integrated camera. I apologize for that. Again, your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Stock Network coming at you with another edition of the Unscripted Sports Guys. And let me checking the sound. But we're coming at you a different time slot than I usually do. You know, you do my podcast at night. I do my episodes and my lives at night. But however, I took off last week. Anything we did on my channel live-wise was the Cigars and Sports with my boy Jim. That was like about almost 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow was like 2 weeks ago. Happy Father's Day to everybody who celebrates. And just took a week off, man. It's summertime. You know, kids are out of school. We do a lot of things. I do a lot of things in the summer. Next week, I'm going on vacation to St. Augustine. Nice little beach town, historic, one of the oldest cities, I think, in the United States or in Florida for sure. But you know, we try to spread it around. We're lucky to live in Florida, so we do a lot of different beach locations every summer. But we're doing that next week, so you probably won't get a podcast from me at all. So I said, let me just jump on here today. There's not a lot going on. We got the NBA Finals. Shout out to the Panthers, who in the NHL, the Florida Panthers, winning their back-to-back chip. And last night, these boys were ham all over Fort Lauderdale, which is, hey, shout out to them. As you know, I'm not a big hockey guy, so I'm not going to touch much hockey, but I'm going to give them their props. But I wanted to get on here today because there's a couple of things. You know, it's early in the morning. It's Juneteenth. I'm off. Instead of sleeping in, my ass was up like around 7 o'clock. Usually I get up really early to go to work, but I'm like, for some reason, I just couldn't sleep, man. So let's just go ahead and, you know, talk some shit here on the channel today and get buck wild with it. But let's start with last night, man. Probably the most successful mom and pop organization, right? Or more successful in the NBA, you know, privately owned mom and pop organization, right? The Lakers reached a deal to be sold for $10 billion. I forget Walter. The guy's name is Walter, the same owner who had the same group that owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. So this dude's going to own the two biggest franchise in California, in LA, the Dodgers and the Lakers. Unbelievable. Unreal. $60 million. The late, great Dr. Buss bought the Lakers for. That's what he paid for. $67.5 million. Jeannie Buss is selling it for $10 billion. What is said to be, what also are saying that they will also she will still remain total control of the operation. So she's going to be still like that. I don't know if the CEO or the vice president of operations or the president of operations, but supposedly her role still stands as the day-to-day person, right? That means the Pelinka most likely staying. That means that LeBron James is probably like, oh, right, man, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we get more money for free agency. But this historic franchise, I think, has the most championships. No, I think second to most. I'm not sure. I think either the Celtics got more or they tied them the last time they won a championship. I'm not sure. But it's been a historic franchise since the purchase by Dr. Buss. We know the history with the logo, the late great. I forgot his name. My gosh, one of the greatest players who only won one championship and went to like 9 NBA finals. But he was a great player, right? Forget the logo's name. However, this is insane. This is a mom and pop business. Dad purchased it and passed it down to his kids. You know what's crazy, right? They're valued at $10 billion. The Celtics sold at $6 billion. So these franchises are just going to keep going up and up. If the Lakers sold for $10 billion, imagine what the Dallas Cowboys are going to sell for. Because after this franchise, America's team, which y'all know I hate the Cowboys, are probably going to be sold for $15 billion if Jerry ever decides to sell, which he should, by the way. But the Lakers are a historic franchise, and the fact that they finally are going to express, I don't. What does this mean to the Lakers' future? I really don't know. Is it going to be that they have an influx of cash because, you know, a billionaire is buying them? The dude's worth like $12 billion. Walter, whatever his name is. What is the guy's name? Hold on a second. The group is called, let me see. I go back here. Yep. Entering the agreement, Mark Walter is the one who owns the Dodgers, and he's the one that's heading this group. And what I mean is Ginny Buss will continue to serve in her role as governor after the sale. Remember, because they're not owners anymore, they're governors. The NBA doing their woke thing because, owners have a bad narrative. Listen, if I own a business, I'm the fucking owner, not a governor. Anyway, historic sale. Again, what does it mean for them? Does it mean that they're gonna go ahead and eventually have an influx of cash where they could spend more? Not sure. Usually, when somebody purchases an asset, a franchise, the Lakers are successful, so they don't have a problem selling out seats. I don't know this person is these people buy these franchises. These billionaires buy these franchises as a freaking trophy and make it their fun job, right? To just have somebody run them or win a championship and get a damn trophy. I don't know what this means. The Lakers were purchased the Clippers were purchased by a very expensive, hedge fund guy. They haven't been successful. Made the playoffs a few times, hasn't done shit. The Mavericks, again, same thing. Made the finals, traded Luka. Who knows what's going to happen? I know LeBron is expecting like a lot of help for next season, So shout out to the Lakers. $10 billion sale. Knew that was coming. We didn't know this was coming. This kind of came out of nowhere. But, after the Celtics sold, I think the Lakers said, you know what? I got to one up the damn Celtics. They sold for $6 billion. Remember that it's a rivalry. They sold for $6 billion, and we're gonna go ahead and sell for more because that's what we do. The Lakers and the Celtics are always gonna battle, even when it comes to selling the team. You know what I'm saying? So, talking about selling out, you know what I'm saying? Talking about selling out, and I'm not bashful about Mr. LeBron James, and of course, this is all over social media yesterday. Allen Iverson and Charles, he spoke about the ring culture, how it's just weird to him that players without rings are not considered in the same level as the top five, the GOATs. So I want to go ahead and share this with you. As you all know here, me, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to give you my reaction on Mr. LeBron James' take on here.
It's funny. Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on. And this is, of course, on his podcast, who he does now with Steve Nash. As you know, Steve Nash replaced his coach, JJ Redick, who he used to do this podcast with. So let me play this for you, and then we'll break this down, and I'll give you my reaction and hit the comments. Give me 1 second.
I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and you tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like,
No. The guy you're talking about won 6 rings, went 6 times to the finals, and never lost. That's who you're talking about, not 1 or 2. You're the 1 and 2 conversation, LeBron. Sorry.
Saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time. Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things, I don't know. I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series? I don't think so. I don't think so. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. So. And you can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat. I mean, Jerry West, I think, went to like 9 straight NBA finals.
Right.
And was only able to win 1. Right. And he's the logo of our league.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and tell me that, okay, well, because he only won 1, the guy can't be in the same room with the guy who won 2 or 3 or 4. Like, why not? This guy, he's our logo.
James, Mr. James, Mr. James, Mr. James.
It's funny. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I don't know why he puts himself in this situation, bro. Every time he comes up and has to give a take about something that not promotes, but something that targets greatness, right? His greatness, because this is not about anybody else. He's not defending anybody else. He's mentioning all these people, Barry Bonds, Steve Nash, who's there co-hosting with him. He's mentioning, Jerry West, who I forgot his name, the logo. He a great Laker, by the way. He's talking about other guys, Barkley, Iverson. Dude, this just shows me that it's not about them. It's about him. He is back with this whole tune on how he can justify him being better than Jordan, which again, you cannot call yourself the best. The best is identified by your peers. When your peers are saying you're better than Jordan, that's when, you get an opportunity to talk about that and give yourself the props. But come on now, boys. Every time he goes on these rants, the previous one about, I'm winning, I won the toughest championships in the world, whatever. All this kind of crap just keeps displaying and showing people that the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan, the GOAT, is still living in his head rent free. LeBron James is a guy that decided to go to Miami, pursue to play with Dwayne Wade, who was already a champion, who they acquired Chris Bosh the same season, left Cleveland to win a championship, left the organization to play with players that have already won, went back to Cleveland. And I'll give him credit. He brought back a chip to Cleveland. But again, players that haven't won yet, but had 2 freaking all-stars in the lineup. Traded for Kevin Love. And then, of course, Kyrie, who was like the best point guard, one of the best point guards out there. Decides to leave Cleveland and go to LA to join another Hall of Famer. All right, to chase another ring in Anthony Davis. His whole entire career has been to catch the GOAT, win championships. And every player in every sports wants to win a championship. And they don't think that their career is not defined because they didn't win it. But they do think that it's a utter failure. Not the entire career is a failure, but it's a failure on a part of their career because they never got that championship. Because everybody that plays sports is in it to win. Win, make money, but it's always to win. And Charles Barkley, Steve Nash, Jerry West, these guys don't get put in the same conversation as you, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, because stats is one thing, but the success is warranted with greatness. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won a bunch of them. He's considered probably one of the top centers in the history of the NBA. It just shows to me that the hypocrisy, every time he's getting further and further away from reaching Jordan and this greatness, he has to come up with something new. Now, this is a guy that was all about ring chasing, and now he's making it seem like it's not important. Every single time. I don't know why he does this. It's so transparent. It's so obvious. It's so obvious that he just has to make it about himself, man. When he couldn't win a championship, he called up Dwayne Wade. When he couldn't win the gold, because he didn't win the gold this first time around, my man had to go and call up Kobe. Play with him in USA. This is a perfect meme right here, man. This explains LeBron James' career. 100%. 100%. This dude just keeps chasing and chasing the GOAT and keeps making it obvious. That's a crazy part, man. He keeps making it obvious that he has to justify himself. He has to justify himself regarding his status or where he belongs to the talks in the greatest of all time. And here's the thing, man. He belongs in probably the second greatest player of all time. I'm actually putting him over Kobe now. I don't know, man. It's hard to put him over Kobe. But yeah, that's where we're at. Every time he pulls this kind of crap, he does an interview or decides to show everybody how smart he thinks he is. He ends up looking like a hypocrite. And LeBron's a little bit of a hypocrite. Keep chasing, brother. Keep chasing, LeBron. Maybe one day you'll get there. Probably in the next life. All right, moving on. This is going to be a short show, guys, by the way. So moving on. With the technical difficulties and stuff like that, just want to put something in the archives. What else we got? We had a nice trade in the NFL this past week. We had a trade in the NFL last night, actually. Let me go ahead and share this. Jair Alexander. This dude was picked up by the Ravens. $6 million. Steal. He turned down more money to be in Baltimore because he wanted to play with his homie, Lamar Jackson, his college teammate. Now, this is a huge pickup, man, defensive-wise. The Ravens are looking strong for next season, man. Looking strong for next season in the division. My bad, Jim. That they're definitely going to own. All right, because Rodgers joining the Steelers doesn't make them a playoff contender. The Browns are the Browns. They're gonna freaking roster 4 quarterbacks. All right, because they're gonna keep all 4 quarterbacks. I don't know what they're doing gonna do with that, but they're gonna roster 4 quarterbacks. And then you got the Bengals who have no defense. All the offense in the world, but with no defense. They still haven't signed their best defensive player yet in Henderson. So the team right now that the division is there for them to lose is the Ravens. This solidifies, I think is probably one of the best secondaries, or maybe the best secondary in the league. Nate Wiggins, Awuzie, now Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, Malaki Starks. There's a lot of talent here, boys and girls. A lot of talent, a lot of guys that pop. And when you're in a division with a lot of defense, they're going to have a field day with people like quarterbacks like Rodgers and whoever the Browns starts. They got to have a field day with those type of quarterbacks. And when they go to the weaker divisions, it's going to be insane. I mean, the Ravens right now are loaded for bear. This addition was huge on defense. What else did adding DeAndre Hopkins also? It's another good addition. Lamar Jackson has all the tools at disposal. Derrick Henry coming back, probably going to have the same season as last year. This is ridiculously a really good secondary, and that division with weak quarterback play, in addition to the without not counting Lamar and Joe Burrows, they're gonna have a field day out there. Shout out to the Ravens. They put a great trade. Again, Jair Alexander wanted to play with his college teammate, and Lamar Jackson only took $6 million. Could have got more money somewhere else. This shows a guy that he wants to win a chip, dude. He wants to win a chip. So that's cool. That's cool. Shout out to the Ravens, who are really loaded to make a strong run the start of the season. And to finish it off, man, I just got to, play something. This is hilarious, man. Kaylin Clark is back. Ratings are back up again. Most views in a WNBA game. They were sucking ass, while she was gone and hurt. While she was gone and hurt, you had this going on right here. While she is back and the NBA just goes ham. Let's visit our friend Angel Reese. She's hot. She's so hot, by the way.
Whoever came up with the rebounds thing, y'all ate that up. Because rebounds, rebounds, key bounds, anything that comes off that board, it's mine. it's mine. And a brand, that's 6 figures right there. Whoever came up with that, the trolling, I love when y'all do it, because, like, the ideas be good. Like, when y'all have to alter my face and shit, when, because I'm cute. All right, whatever, like, that doesn't get me. But, like, when y'all came up with rebounds, because statistically, all the rebounds that I get aren't always just mine. They're, like, the defenses, too, or somebody else's on my team. But when y'all came up with rebounds, y'all ate one little thing. Jenny, we're working. We're gonna work with that. But yeah, happy game day.
I don't know, man. I'm getting some Britney Spears vibes here. I think the next videos you might pull up some knives and start dancing. She went ahead and, by the way, branded Me Bounce. She branded Me Bounce. She copyrighted it. It's her own. So Me Bounce is all hers, bro. Keep rebounding. It's all good, Angel. You know, you're good. It's a good thing Angel is a good looking girl. You know what I mean, dude? You know, because
whoever came up with the Me Bounce,
it's a good thing she's a good looking girl. On the other hand, we got Caitlin Clark, has more career 3-point games than 97% of all the NBA players in NBA history. First game back, 32 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Yo, she's only been in the league for like 45 games, whatever the good names are. And this chick already has how many more 3-pointers? Let me go back to that stat. Hold on a second. Let me get back. Caitlin Clark has more career 3-point games than 96.7% of all WNBA players. Second season. Played a handful of games this season because she got hurt. Comes back, gets her ass kicked in the previous game. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham, who's now the enforcer. That's why Angel Reese has to, cling to something, because she thinks she is the other face of the league. She's a good-looking face, but the real face is Caitlin Clark. She drives the ratings. She drives the views. And it's not because she's a good-looking girl. It's because she can ball the hell out of. She can ball out, man. She could ball out. What she did the other day, 38 seconds, hit like 9 points, 3 threes. She's just ridiculous. She can do it all. But Angel, yeah, man, do your thing, man. I'm not hating on her, bro. I'm glad that she is, branding Me Bounce. She's actually taking the hate that she's getting and the trolling and making it into something positive. She'll probably make money out of it, because she's one thing I give Angel Reese, man. She uses all her tools at her disposal to make some money. And you know what? Can't hate on that. But the GOAT here is Caitlin Clark. Just let that marinate, people. I don't think we need to keep beating up a dead horse. All right, man. Just a short show. Day off from work. About to, get out of the studio, the Average Joe studio, a.k.a. my guest room. And, start the day, man. Let's see what we could do with the kids. Got to go to work tomorrow, but because I'm on vacation the following week. But, hey, man, enjoy, everybody. Whoever has the day off, enjoy it. If not, we'll definitely be back with another episode of Cigars and Sports, probably sometime next week. And then the week after that, I know my man Jim is on vacation. I'm not going to be on vacation, but I'm going to have a lot more time. Family's going away to visit the in-laws after we come back from vacation. So I'm going to have some free time after work, and we'll probably do a lot of stuff, man. So, all right. With that being said, I appreciate you all, man. Thank you for watching for another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. And, regards to tonight's game, OKC is going to lock that shit out. And I was right. It is one of the lowest or the lowest rated and least watch NBA Finals. For all y'all haters that gave me all the hate, guess what, my man? I told you it was going to be. I remember, go back a few episodes. Lowest NBA Finals, least watch NBA Finals loading. And guess what? I was right. So for all the haters, all the comments they gave me on TikTok, come on, man. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. Peace, y'all.
Yo!